today to share with you guys some of the products that I have purchased for my toddlers that didn't so much work. I did a video a couple of weeks ago sharing with you guys some of the products I regretted buying for my newborns, and a lot of you guys really wanted to see the next version for toddlers and then for 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, etc. So we're gonna go on to the toddler realm of products today. If you like these kinds of videos, have any requests for future videos, I'll leave them in the comment section below. I would love to hear from you guys. And without further ado, let's get into this. First, I want to talk about toddler socks because they wear them a lot. They're constantly losing them and they're constantly slipping on them. So first, it should go without saying that only buy socks that have little like grippy things on the bottom. Otherwise, your small toddler will be falling all over the place, even more than normal. And secondly, is to try and buy socks that are all one color. So with Julia, I don't know why I didn't do this with Luke, but with Julia, I had only exclusively white socks. Mostly because I like that it matched every single outfit, but actually it turned out to be a really good plan because she's constantly wearing holes through them, losing them, they're getting stains on them, they're just a mess. And I think I would lose my mind if I constantly had to find the exact pair of like pink with like purple polka dots on it to match with the pink with the purple polka dots and not the purple with the pink polka dots. Like, it would drive me bananas. But for Luke, for whatever reason, I couldn't find, like, I wanted to find just all like dark gray socks or something like that was all one color, but they only had packages of like varying shades of like blues and grays and whites. I'm like, fine, whatever. And like I end up with all of these like just slightly different tone socks. I know what you're thinking, this must be the same as this, but it is not. They're all slightly different and it drives me crazy because I can never find where the other sock is or it's in another load, and it's so annoying that I can't just like take another white sock and be done with it. So learn from my mistake. All one color socks. Next up are those like little like standalone pies that like sit on the floor, and I know they work for a lot of kids and moms and dads and they just work amazing. My family, not so much. I love the concept of it because it's lower to the ground, it's great for independence building and all that stuff, but the loud sound of the toilet was something that my children in particular needed to get used to, and I didn't want the toilet to be this like scary thing. And so going from learning to be toilet trained on the small potty and then learning to be toilet trained on the big potty, it just seemed like an extra step that I could just bypass by just putting them on the big potty. So I have these like little mini potty seats that you can just take on and off of the toilet, and they just sit on there. They have fun colors on the bottom, but otherwise they're nice and white, so they match my decor, because even in the bathroom, it's gotta look good. They're easier for them to sit on, as well as Julia is now independent enough that she can take it and put it onto the seat by herself if she wants to, or she can just sit on the potty by herself. But it's a much easier thing for me. It's much less expensive, and I wish I had just gone that route versus like the little standalone potty. Now onto sippy cups, and I know everyone kind of has their own preference on brands and makes and types because every kid is a little bit different, but for me, these ones are terrible. These ones are by Playtex. I have a bunch of them. I had them for Julia, and there are a couple of reasons why I don't like them. Number one, if they are wet at all on the inside, this little straw that it comes with here will not stay in the little spot where it's supposed to. It keeps slipping out and then they can't drink out of it properly. And then this top part, because they're kids, it's constantly getting like chewed on and stuff, so I have to keep snipping it off, which is super annoying too. And the straw is so small that sometimes it'll get stuck in like at the back of the dishwasher for whatever reason, and then I'm like down a straw. It's super annoying. The ones that I use that are really nice are the little training cups. I think they're, sorry, my phone's going off. I'll link them down below in case you guys are interested, but they're really great. They're easy for the kids to use. They have ones that have handles on them and ones that don't, and it's just much easier process for them to learn how to use a cup properly. I will say they are mostly spill proof. The only time they are not like they spill a little bit is when like Luke like throws them on the ground, but they don't like leak everywhere. It's just like a little bit comes out, just as a heads up for everyone, because they do, I think, say on the website that they're spill proof. Not so much. My children will always find a way, but I like them so much better than the straw ones, so I highly recommend them. Now on to hats that do not have any sort of chin straps on them. I swear that most of the stuff I'm going to be talking about today is stuff that you put on your toddler because it is very important. I've learned many things about the types of products to be putting on them. But when they're at that age, when they're just starting to exercise a little bit of independence, they're walking around, things like that, you want to find hats that they're going to stay on their heads because they're going to fling them off at the first chance they get. Luke will just take his off if it's not connected in any way. He'll be like, yes, Nailed it. Chin straps are the best thing ever. They make it impossible for them to get it off their head. Well, at least not super easily anyway. And they're not gonna fly off in the wind. So keep that in mind, mamas. Definitely need the chin strap for the hat. Next is something that's a little bit more generalized, but having stuff in the house that isn't easily toddler proof. So like, for example, we had a glass table in our old house. We had these glass end tables that are sort of like, I don't know, they have a glass top, but they only have like 2 legs on the one side. I know that sounds really weird. And it's not like it's any immediate danger, which I would have removed immediately from the house if it was. It's just like they're getting their fingerprints all over the glass, or they're like just gently bumping their noggins when they're trying to crawl underneath, and they're like, look at me, I'm underneath the table, how awesome is this? Anything that isn't easily toddler proof, like rough edges or anything like that's super breakable. And I mean, you know your children best, and like I know what I can keep out and what I can't keep out, but I would just like stick it in an unfinished basement or put it like behind a closed door. Just in the meantime where they're sort of in that stage still where they're like, ooh, is that breakable? Let me smash it on the ground and see what happens. Now on to those super adorable and really impractical lace-up shoes. Now I had these for Julia and I liked them because Julia is much more of a quiet individual, but Luke would not, like I don't have them for him, but I'm glad I don't because he would not sit still long enough for me to actually do them up. Velcro is the only way to go in my own personal opinion. I mean, they've just learned how to walk, they want to exercise that, and they want to run around as much as possible, and they won't sit still for the 35 seconds that's going to take you to like do up one lace versus like both shoes and be out the door. And now onto those big like castles and princess palaces and all those things that you have for like the little people and I don't know, Barbies and whatever that you have kind of around the house. I have too many of them. Whether they're collected over the years through like Christmases, birthdays, presents from us, things like that, they just cause so much traffic congestion, so I have to like store a couple of them downstairs and only have up like 2 at a time, and they're really big and bulky, and so if you have a limited space for them or you don't have like a designated like toy room, they can get in the way like super quick time. So just keep that in mind when you're buying them. They're great and I love them, but just try and keep in mind like which ones you want to buy and kind of stick to a minimum if you have limited space. And that's everything for this video. I hope you guys found it helpful. Leave a comment down below and let me know what future videos you want to see, and let me know what products you regret buying for your toddler or your 3, 4, 5-year-old, your newborn. I would love to hear from you guys. Give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on new videos every Saturday. And that is everything. I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful week so far, and I will see you guys all in my next video. Love you girls. Mwah.